early voting underway for city elections, we reached out to all 5 mayoral candidates in Myrtle Beach for an interview. 4 said yes, McBride declined. So here's Eva Rigney, Daniel Aumen, Kruea, and Brenda Bethune answering today's question.
I think when we talk about the people who are living here, there's kind of this love-hate relationship between tourism and kind of quality of living and just, I live here, this is the place that I stay, I don't want to be a tourist attraction. How do you plan on balancing that tourism place along with this being a quality of life place?
Okay. So Myrtle Beach was founded in 1901, got incorporated in 1938, and tourism started to bloom a little bit in 1958, and then in 1970 they started doing the planning and zoning to invite, you know, people to live here and so forth. So the locals, they might say, okay, this is mine, but they all knew that this is a beautiful beach and that eventually it will be advertised throughout the world that it is come on in. And so when the people come in and they see it's beautiful, they want to live here. So what I'm trying to get at is they knew all along that this is a tourist place. So we all need to just live together, get along, and just make sure that you are voting for a leader that will make this safe. Well,
I'm not sure if there's a love-hate relationship. If the city's identity is tourism, then just be that. There's nothing wrong with that. Somebody's going to come and say, oh, you guys are nothing but a tourist city. I'm like, well, yeah, that's our identity, right? That's what we do. When people, you know, that's what we chose to do as a business and make a living. So if residents can get more engaged, that'd be good. If residents are given a platform to become more engaged, if they don't, I guess the hate side would feel like you're being shut out, or you know, feel like you're not getting the money off of the place that you live or something like that. Well, you know, you got to get in there and do that. So maybe maybe some like micro venues, you know, so that the people that did have creative ideas would have a place to go into the hot spot and show what they got. There's what's that field that the pavilion used to be on right there? It's not used a lot of times except for large venues. Maybe organize something where the little micro venues can go in and people can share what they have from the community, and then they get an opportunity to be part of the tourist trade. They fill in smaller gaps. You know, you have when you stack stones, you stack the large ones and you put the smaller ones in, and then you put the smaller ones in, right? So was it get in where you fit in? You know, it's all I could say is, and do the best you can.
Myrtle Beach is not a normal town. We've always been a tourism destination since, you know, the early 1900s. We're a very young town too. And I've said for decades that the toughest job City Council has is balancing the needs of the residents and the business community. We've got 10,000 businesses in Myrtle Beach, and they're in many cases, you know, slam up against a residential neighborhood, so we need to protect the residences from encroachment, but by the same token, we also need to allow the business community to thrive. So that really is the hardest job for the community. And I think people understand that we are lucky to have as many things to do and see and enjoy and eat and drink and party because we're a tourism destination. If we were a normal town of 40,000 people, you wouldn't have all of the many things that attract people to Myrtle Beach.
A lot of people that have moved here over the last 6 to 8 years, I think sometimes don't realize how much this community relies on tourism. There is not a single business in the city of Myrtle Beach that does not benefit from our visitors. And all of our permanent residents also benefit from that. They receive a 67% property tax credit on their house, on their property taxes. So I think it's about education, and yes, we have traffic, but when I go to other places, when I'm in Charleston, Atlanta, you know, other cities, I don't think our traffic is nearly as bad as other cities. And you know, we're doing all we can. We are doing some major road realignments right now, as is South Carolina Department of Transportation. So I think a lot of that will help. But I think part of it is people just need to realize that this community thrives off of our visitors. And at one time, these are the same people who came here on vacation every year and loved it so much that they chose to live here. So I think, you know, the traffic and our visitors are something that we need to accept with a smile. and continue to welcome people here and realize that, you know, our community depends on it.